How are we looking here? Frame. It's looking pretty stark in there, I think. Good afternoon, everyone. Gonna need some blocks, or maybe you're gonna need some blocks, maybe some books or something. 2 if you've got it, but all good if not. We'll make it work. We'll get started in about a minute. Delicious. What's the time? What's the bloody time? 4:01. Let's go. Let's start. Yes. Welcome, everybody. Hey. Level 3, Vinyasa. 90-minute class. Lovely to see those of you that are live, and if you're there in the future, somewhere down the line. Let's get started in a seated position. So either up on blocks or maybe a cushion for you at home. Could be cross-legged, could be kneeling. We'll shut down the eyes if they're not already. We'll just take a few moments to settle here. Once you've found this seated position, make sure your lower back is elevated. There's some lift, there's some effort there. Crown of the head is also extending up towards the ceiling. But then shoulders start to relax a little. Go ahead and take a nice long, very deep breath in. Slow, gentle, releasing breath out. Now maintaining the structure of the spine, the lift of it. Start to bring just a feeling of softness into it. And start to work with the quality of closeness with yourself, the quality of intimacy with yourself. So start to pay attention to your body. Start to become aware of what's happening in the body. And to recognition of sensations or experiences that you're going through right now. Body sensations, emotional sensations or experiences, mental ones, energetic ones. See, we all have a bandwidth of attention. You have a finite amount of attention. And here, as we begin the practice, we try and give majority of our attention to our own body, but particular to the moment. We start to focus in and concentrate on the state of the body. And then even though we're going to challenge the body in some sense, we still keep a quality of nourishment or nurturing of the body. So that we're kind of riding a line of challenge, of effort, but not pushing over that line into strain, injury, or any kind of any kind of trauma at all. And here, the mechanism for that becomes your breath. It almost becomes a focus of accountability to maintain a level of quality throughout your practice. So as you become aware of your breath, begin to deepen it. Start to take more breath down into your belly. Let that fill and rise up into the chest. Let the exhale start to smooth out and slow down. We're starting to elongate the breath, bringing more and more attention to it. And start to incorporate a slightly slower breath than you might be used to. Here, we're going to double the length of the exhalation. If you've worked with me before, we've practiced a little bit of 4 in, 8 out over some time. We're going to take that right out today. Now, if 4 in, 8 out works for you, please stick with it. Otherwise, let's give this a crack. Breathe in for 6, breathe out for 12. It's quite the stretch there. One breath lasting nearly, probably 18 seconds. So this isn't to sort of push yourself into a place of strain. Remember that. No competition with yourself. Work within your capacity. Either 4 in, 8 out, or 6 in, 12 out. As you're doing this, maintain a level of calm, a level of gentleness, a sense of delicateness here. We'll take just maybe 2 or 3 more rounds of this. Take one final round. Drop back into a nice, long, slow, expansive breath, one that you're deliberately creating, that's aiming to nourish, nurture, and kind of bring some level of quality or efficiency of movement into the body as we give it a little bit of a challenge. Now, keep that level of gentleness. Don't push over the line here. Keep on touching on your breath first, and then create the posture around it. We'll keep it rolling, we'll keep it moving, and let's go ahead and blink open the eyes. Raise the arms up towards the ceiling. And exhale, twist to your right arm into a half bind. Left hand catches your thigh. Really turn back the shoulder and maintaining the breath, it's still rolling. Keep that level of accountability for it here. We take one more. Really turn back the shoulder, raise the level back. Inhale, arms raise up. Exhale, twist to the left arm into a half bind, right hand catches the thigh. And once you're into the twist, again, lower back raises up, shoulder turns back, breath finds that nice, slow, gentle, smooth pace. We'll take maybe one more now. And inhale, back up through the center and coming into cat-cow straight away. So roll over the knees, come into tabletop position, all fours. And as soon as you arrive, hands below the shoulders, hips above the knees, and take an inhale, press the belly down. Exhale, an arch to raise up through the spine. Now, as you're doing your cat-cows today, find one breath to one movement, and at some point, turn your hands back towards your knees. So you turn them out and then back towards your knees, and you carry on with a few more rounds of wave-like motion through the spine. but it's also with integrated breath. So think of cat-cow, not just as the ability to move your spine, shoulders, and hips fluidly, but how sort of evenly you can match and synchronize the breath into it. Full of breath at the bottom of the dip, empty at the arch. We'll just take maybe one more round. If you need to do anything with the wrist, do it now. And then returning to a neutral spine, let's go ahead and raise the left arm up towards the ceiling, and we're going to thread the needle here. So left arm underneath the right armpit. Drop down to the back of the left shoulder. Now right arm into a half bind. Wrap it up behind your lower back there. Keep on really turning back the shoulder for just one more moment here. And then right hand to the floor to raise the left arm up and out once again. Place the hand down to switch it up. Right arm raises up. Thread it underneath the left armpit, diving under, dropping down and into the half bind. Left arm wrapping up. Now keep relatively even weight between your knees. So you might have to shift a little more over to the right. Maybe just one more generous breath here. And release. Left hand down, right hand up and out to open the chest. Place it on the floor and come into downward facing dog. So tuck the toes, lift the hips. A little bit of movement there. Let the hamstrings, the back of the legs adjust. We take a couple of even, nice smooth breaths here. Matching relatively the inhale to the length of the exhale and vice versa. Maybe just one more full breath now. And then walk your hands towards the back of your mat into a forward fold. Uttanasana. Just letting the whole upper body sort of just hang forward here. A little bend in the knees maybe. Not very long here at all. And let's go ahead and round up through the spine, all the way through to standing. Reach up and stretch up at the top nice and big. And then hands to prayer at heart center. Go ahead and lift your heels up off the ground. And then interlace your hands behind your lower back. Raise the chest, squeeze the butt here a little bit. Suck the belly in too. Shoulders actively squeezing back for one more breath here. And then plant the heels to fold forward, lifting the hands up and over the head. Letting the whole chest just really relax all the way through to the neck. A little bit in the knees, again, welcome here, but try and squeeze the shoulder blades back again and take one more big breath here. Hands on the ground, halfway lift to lengthen out. And once again, walk the hands all the way on the floor out to plank position. Shoulders above your wrists. Hold there, nice and tight through the thighs and through the butt, arching and rounding through your upper back. Now just take one more breath here, holding in the plank. And then lift high plank. Exhale back to down dog. Now, a little tricky on this one. Inhale through the high plank, pause there. Now drop the knees to hover just off the floor, and then slide the hips up and back into downward facing dog. We do that one more time. Inhale through the high plank. Drop the knees to hover. Slide back and up. We go plank, and then drop the knees all the way down to the floor to lower all the way down until you're flat. Take the hands off the side of the mat and start to roll through cobra. Inhale, chest lifts up. And the exhale takes it straight back down. Now carry on with your own breath. Inhales, lift the chest. Exhales, lower down. Again, one of the key elements here, the fact that you're synchronizing the breath with the movement. But press the feet pretty hard into the floor. Keep the thighs nice and strong here. We'll take maybe just one or two more rounds now. And as the chest comes down, and then come straight up into downward facing dog. And as you're arriving down dog, nice easy walk to the top of the mat. Inhale to halfway lift to lengthen out. Exhale to fold in. Inhale to stand all the way up, reach up and stretch up nice and big. And then exhale to fold straight back down towards the floor. Now halfway lift, flat back. Step back, plank position. Hold in this high plank for a moment. Now draw the left knee to left elbow. Tap. Step it back. Right knee, right elbow. Step it back. Left knee, left elbow, pause. Hold for a sec. Now see if you can come up onto the right fingertips. Now very gently with this motion here, spin your back heel down to the floor. Keep the knee in towards the elbow. Hold maybe here, or right hand comes up for one moment, and then back down to switch it up. Left foot steps back. Right knee pins right elbow. Hold, left fingertips. Ground down the back heel. Maybe left hand comes up, and exhale back down. Step back, drop your knees. Lower all the way down. Hands off the side of the mat. Inhale, chest up a little higher. Exhale, folding or releasing down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Firm thighs here. Last one, inhale, up. So sitting on your heels, walk your hands behind your feet. Roll back your shoulders, lift the chest here. Now, fingers face forward here. Roll back the shoulders. Inhale and thrust your hips up away from your heels. Just a little. Exhale, release. Now keep your chin to your chest. Try not to take this to camel just yet. Roll the shoulders back. Inhale, hips lift a little. Exhale, lower. On this round, squeeze your butt to lift the hips, but suck the belly back and hold for a sec. Belly in, butt on. And release. Walk your hands forward, back into downward facing dog. As soon as you land in downward facing dog, nice easy walk to the top of the mat, folding forward there. Halfway lift, lengthen out. Exhale to fold forward. Inhale to stand all the way up. Reach up and stretch up. And then exhale to fold straight back down towards the ground. Now halfway lift, lengthen out. Step or jump back, chaturanga. Half plank, bend elbows. Pull the chest through the arms into upward facing dog. And exhale, finds downward facing, hips up and back. One more big breath in dog. Heels up, knees bend. One more round here. Walk, step or jump, top of your mat. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale to fold in. Inhale to stand all the way up, moving straight through now. Exhale, folding forward, belly tight, butt back. Half lift, flat back. Step or jump back into chaturanga, half plank, bent elbows. Pull the chest through the arms, up dog, and into downward facing dog, hips up and back. One or two more breaths in that down dog, settling, soothing. And heels up, knees bend, returning them to the top of the mat, walk, step or jump. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, stand tall. Now, reach up, it's going to change. Hands to prayer. Heels lift up once again, arms back like arrowhead. Drop your butt between, in line with your knees, rather. How would you drop your butt between your knees? That would be interesting. And then try and flatten your back parallel to the ground. Heels lift up here. We take maybe one more big breath. Now, keeping the heels lifted, hands come down to the ground. A little booty pop and jump back into chaturanga. So heels up, chaturanga directly. Inhale, up dog. And into downward facing dog, hips up and back. Inhale, right leg raises up. Bend the knee and peel the hip open. Exhale, knee to the nose. Nice and tight, pull it in. Inhale, lift it back up. Exhale to the left elbow. Hold down to that wrist. Back to that elbow. And shoot it back up. Forward fingertips. Straighten through the front leg pyramid. Two more. Inhale, lunge. Exhale, fold. Gently does it now. Inhale, lunge. Exhale to fold. This time, lunge and pause. Right hand raises up. Simple twist. Back leg tight and firm. Just 3 breaths in, not long at all. Now, a little bit of movement through the arm. Keeping the deep bend in the front knee. Don't let it move. Reach your right hand back and sweep it down, forward, up, back, down. 2 more rotations. Don't let your hips move. Don't let them move one little bit at all. Last one, full rotation. Right hand comes down, back knee drops down. Chest and arms raise up, low lunge. Exhale, throw the hands back into arrowhead as you straighten through your front leg into half Hanuman. 2 more. Inhale, lift, lunge, elbows back behind the ears. Exhale, fold, straighten. Inhale, lunge. Exhale, fold. Back up into the lunge and pause. Eagle, wrap your arms. Right arm underneath the left one. Squeeze your left glute now, your butt cheek. Inhale, lift the elbows up. Little back bend. But you're trying to pull the elbows forward. You want to round your upper back. but lift the chest up towards the ceiling. Now, try and drop your shoulders away from your ears and squeeze your butt for one more big breath here. And unwrap the arms as you release them to the ground into half Hanuman. In this half Hanuman, little lift of the chest, tuck in the back toes, and interlace your hands behind your lower back. Now, lift the front ball of the foot. Maybe a little bend in the front knee is going to be better for your balance. So you can drive the front heel in a bit better. But hands lift up, lift the fist up. Chest comes down as best as you can. 2 more generous breaths here now. All right, lunge into the front knee, releasing the hands onto the floor. Now pick up the back knee. Little tricky here. Turn to the left, to the side of the mat. As you do, turn the front toes in. Now just a little bit of movement. Move left to right with your hips. No wrong answer. Just get a little mobile, little kind of fluid through the hips here. Try not to pause for too long. Like move around, just sort of explore a touch. Left hip is probably feeling a little tighter than the right one. That's all right. That's normal. We take one more big breath here. And then walk your hands towards the back of your mat. All right. Little tricky. Right here in this shape. See if you can arch through your upper back. Round like the angry cat. You might have to come up onto fingertips momentarily. See if you can pin your knee into the chest and lift your front heel up off the ground. Now keeping the knee into the chest. Pull the heel in towards your thigh and hold. Knee to nose. Maybe now you ground the hands. Now in this shape, keep the knee to the chest, round through the upper back. See if you can bend your back knee and drop the knee down to the ground and kick your left leg out into 3-leg tabletop. Sweet relief. Right hand reaches out. Exhale, knee to elbow underneath your belly. Inhale, kick back out. Exhale, rounding in. Inhale, open. Exhale, round. Now this time as you kick out, pause, bend your back knee, reach your right hand back and take a hold. Kick, lifting the chest, squeezing the left butt cheek. Try and drop your right shoulder a little as you do this. We're going to take maybe one more big breath. And then kick the left leg back, right hand on the floor. Now, a little tricky again. Turn your bottom shin out to your right. Left hand now takes the top of the left foot. Catch a hold and kick. Supported side bow. Right butt cheek squeezes. Chest rolls back. Both butt cheeks squeeze, in fact. We take one more big breath here now. And release the left hand up towards the ceiling. Now, 3-leg dog. As the left hand comes down, right leg shoots up. Bend the knee, peel the hip open. Exhale, right foot steps outside the right hand. Lizard lunge. We'll make a little bit of movement here. Just some hip circles. Forward, back, side to side, maybe a little bit. Feel it out a touch. Now, inhale. Right hand raises up. Twisted lizard. Take your time with this. Side plank. Right leg steps back on top of the left one just momentarily. Lift the hips. Now right foot steps in front of the left one. Staggered foot position. Pin your left knee in towards the elbow. We've been here before. Left knee in towards the elbow. Hold. One more big breath there. Right hand down. Keep the knee as it is. Flip this into wild thing. Left foot steps outside, over, behind the mat. Inhale, lift the chest. 2 more long breaths there. Coming through a flow straight away. Left hand down, chaturanga, bend the elbows. Pull the chest through, up dog, and into downward facing, hips up and back. 1 more breath in dog, that's all. Inhale, left leg up. Knee to the nose, pull it in. Inhale, shoot it back up. Tap the right elbow and pause underneath the body. Down to that wrist, back to that elbow, shoot it back up. To the left elbow, same thing. Down to the wrist, back to the elbow, shoot it back up, and step through. Left foot in between the hands, puff the chest forward, fingertips, runner's lunge. Exhale to straighten and fold over the front leg. Inhale, lunge. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lunge. Exhale, fold. This time lunge and pause, simple twist to come. Left hand raises up. Back leg nice and strong, really tight, really firm. 2 more breaths just like this. Now reach your left hand back. Sweep it down, forward, up, back. Full rotation of the shoulder, but don't let your hips move. So you're moving your arm, but you're concentrating on your hips, not moving. We take maybe 1 more round, full rotation. And as the left hand comes down to the floor, drop the back knee to the floor, chest and arms raise up, low lunge. Now tuck the back toes, lift the chest here, squeeze your right butt cheek, and exhale, throw the hands back, half Hanuman with an arrowhead. Inhale, lift, lunge, elbows back. Exhale, fold, straighten. Inhale, lunge. Exhale, fold. Now back up into the lunge and pause. Chest and arms raised. Eagle wrap. Left arm underneath the right one. So the whole deal here is to stretch the upper back. So elbows draw forward, but then shoulders drop down and elbows lift up. Let's go. Lunge, squeeze the butt, lift the chest. Shoulders down, elbows up, and pull. Pull them away from your face. Take breath. Maybe 2 more here. As you unwrap the arms, release the hands to the floor. Half Hanuman, straighten through the front leg. So if the back toes aren't tucked, really suggest it now. Halfway lift. Interlace hands behind the lower back. So a little balancing now, right? Foot lifted. Chest coming down. I really think that bend in the front knee is a good idea. Just even if it's tiny, doesn't matter how flexy you are with it. A little more secure for 2 more big breaths. And release. Walk your hands forward. Runner's lunge, so pick up the back knee. Turn to your right. There's that wide-legged forward fold. This time, a little deeper on the movement. Halfway lift, so fairly flat back. Send your butt over towards your right heel, as deep as you can go. Grounding your left foot. Switch. Slide the hips over. Ground the right foot. Switch. 1 more each side. Right. Left. This time, walk your hands to the right, back into runner's lunge at the original top of your mat. Now, you probably have to come up onto fingertips. We're trying to emphasize rounding the upper back here. Round, round, round. Back leg's going to be fairly strong too, but here we go. Lift the front heel up off the floor, and then keep the knee to chest as you pull the heel to butt. Maybe you ground the hands now. Hold, breathe. Now, slowly does it. Bend your left knee until it hits the ground. Right leg kicks out the back. Left arm reaches forward. Knee to elbow. Curl it in. Inhale, open. Exhale, under. Inhale, kick. Exhale, curl. Inhale, punch it out and hold. Bend through your back knee. Take the foot and kick. Lifting the chest, dipping the belly. Right butt cheek squeezing. 1 more big breath here. Now release the leg out the back, left hand to the floor. Turn your bottom shin out to the left. Take your right hand to the top of your right foot. Catch a hold. Now kick. Open the chest. Peel it back a little. Squeeze both butt cheeks. A big breath here. Release the right foot down to the ground. Left hand up. Here we go. 3-leg dog. Right hand down. Left leg up. Bend the knee. Peel the hip open. And step to the lizard. Left foot outside the left hand. Make a little movement. Hip circles. Just feel it out. Couple of breaths. All right. Twisted lizard. Left hand up. And into side plank. Step your left leg on top of the right. Now, find your balance there first. And then staggered foot position. Left foot in front of the right one. Hug your right knee to your right elbow. Pin it in, hold it in. Now staying there, hold it in. Left hand down. Right leg flips over the left one into wild thing. Turn the hips, lift the chest. 2 big breaths here. Squeeze the butt. and straight through a flow. Right hand down, half plank chaturanga. Pull the chest through, up dog, and then 2, downward facing dog, hips up and back. 2 more big breaths, and then downward facing dog, settling the heels, lifting the hips. Coming to a squat, heels up, knees bend, walk, step or jump outside of your hands. Sit your butt down here now. In this shape, give it a go. It might be early days yet, and we'll give it another crack if we can, but we'll take these little chicken wings. So take your both hands, you can see my left one here. So turn your hand back, palm faces back, take the back of your hand to your back of the ribs, and then see if you can get the elbow inside the knee. Now, this is not going to work for everybody probably, so take this gently. If it doesn't feel right, it's not right. A little rounding through your upper back, and then drop the shoulders down just a touch. Be gentle, very, very gentle. Do not push this one too much. We'll take this maybe 1 or 2 more breaths. And then release. Hands to the ground. Only step your left leg back and into lizard lunge once again. So there's a little bit of turn out on the front foot there. Now, left hand fairly wide. Not too wide, but fairly wide. Right hand up. Exhale, thread the right arm underneath the left armpit. Drop the chest down. Inhale, open back out. Exhale, thread it under. Last one, inhale, open. Exhale, under. This time, open. And simply place the hand on the floor for 3-leg dog. Right leg lifts up and out. Bend at the knee, peel the hip open. Exhale, right knee to right elbow and pause. Keep the heel out to the side, as straight, as firm as you can, and lift the leg back up. Give you a visual on the other side. Here we go. Right knee taps right elbow. Kick the heel to the side, and inhale, lift the leg back up, and gently step the foot between your hands. Crescent lunge, chest and arms. Good Lord, raise up. Eagle wrap on your arms. Right arm underneath the left one. Strong legs here. Squeeze your left butt cheek. Belly in. Inhale, elbows lift up. And exhale, curl them in towards your belly button. Now notice here, my lower back's not moving. Try not to move your lower back. Inhale, lift the chest. Isolate the movement to the upper spine and roll in. Inhale, lifting. And again, pelvis not moving. Exhale, rolling in. This time, stand, unwrap the arms, straighten through the legs. And as you lunge back in, hands to prayer, twist to your right and hook the left elbow around the knee. Now, back leg might have to extend a little further back. Firm it up, straighten it out. Wings or binds are welcome here. Otherwise, stay, breathe, hold here. Back leg firm and stiff. 2 breaths to go now. Pyramid pose. Now in this pyramid, little short into stance. See if you can lift the front ball of the foot up and start to walk your hands down the mat, so back, and fingers shape. Lift the back heel up off the ground. Stay with it. 2 more breaths like that. Good. Walk the hands forward. Runner's lunge, puff the chest, and then drop the back knee down, low lunge once again. Chest and arms raise up. Interlace hands behind your lower back. Roll back the shoulders, lift the chest. Now in this shape, straighten through the front leg into half Hanuman. We've been here before. Fist lifts up. Now here's the tricky part. Keep the hands. Look forward. We're going to try and find warrior 3. Pushing off the back leg. Come up. Stand on the right foot as you lift the back leg into a T shape. Maybe you can start to lift the fist a little higher as you find the full expression, but belly in. Stay with breath. 1 more here. Now, gently as you can, release your hands to the floor. Bow down, standing splits. Maybe one of the best ways to rest here is in handstand. So if that practice is there for you, now's the time. 2 arms straight, look between the thumbs, top leg swings up, and clicking the right heel to butt. Otherwise, 3 more breaths in standing splits. Keep the top leg up nice and strong. 1 more big breath now. And step the left foot back, warrior 2. Open the arms, straighten through your front leg, flip the front palm, reach up and back, and into triangle. As you reach forward with the right arm, little bend in the front knee again, tiny bend. Right hand down, left hand up. Back leg strong, butt squeezes, thigh on, belly pulls in. Little turn of the chest up towards the ceiling, and then let's go ahead and find a half bind here. Left arm wraps behind the lower back. Now, just 2 more breaths with the bind now, rolling back the shoulder. Inhale, stand, lift the chest, flip the front palm up and back. Bend the top elbow, hold here, try and interlock fingers. Lift the chest a little higher now, armpit lifts. 1 more breath as you are. Back into warrior 2, so open the arms, bend into the front knee, side angle, hand to the floor, right hand to the floor inside the foot. Top arm again into a half bind. If the full bind is there, please take it. Wrap your right arm underneath the thigh, but then turn the chest up towards the ceiling. Keep the front knee above the ankle, don't let it fall in. Back leg strong still. 2 or 3 more breaths now. Steady breaths, long breaths. All right, inhale, stand, flip the front palm for the ceiling, reach up and back, straighten through the front leg. Now, stick with me here, warrior 2, back into it. Right hand comes to the outside of your right foot. Left hand just onto your hip for a moment here. Now, a couple of choices. If you can, try and push into the back foot, pick up the front foot, and kick the leg out into fallen triangle. Otherwise, from that shape, start to just shimmy, heel toe it out to the left until you can get it as far out, kick it out, slide it out to raise the left hand up and back leg straight. 2 more breaths here now. We've done this before. In this shape, pin your right knee to your right elbow. Hold it in, hold it in. Left hand down, flip it into wild thing. Turn the hips, lift the chest. Right foot steps outside the mat. Chest up, chest open. 1 more big breath there. Now, as you unflip, right hand down, right knee taps right elbow. Hold or find Koundiyasana. Bend your elbow, stack the knee, push off the back foot, maybe back foot lifts. 2 more big breaths. Otherwise, knee to elbow and hold. And 3-leg dog. Right leg lifts up and down, bend the knee, peel the hip, and step through. Right foot in between the hands. Crescent lunge, chest and arms raised up. Hands to prayer, left knee pulls to the chest. In this shape, point your left knee down. We have a little look at Chapasana. So as you point your left knee down, take the top of the foot with your left hand. Belly pulls in, butt squeezes tight. And then you could do this in 1 action. As you hinge forward, tilt the hip up and open. Or in 2 parts. Hand down to the floor first, kicking the foot, and then tilt the hip up and open. Wherever you're at, breathe with it. Take it slow. Nice, slow, gentle breath to match it. 2 or 3 more. How slow can you release your left foot to step it back and sink into Skandasana at the back of your mat. Butt to your left heel as you turn the toes out. Chest up, hands to prayer here. 1 or 2 more breaths now. All right, as you walk your hands back to the top of the mat, walk them inside your right foot and step your left foot outside your left hand up into a squat. Now keep your butt up high here. Hands to the ground for a crow through flow. As the hands hit the ground, round through your upper back, lift the hips higher. Shift a little body weight forward and down with the chest as the heels start to come into butt, and hold for 1 or 2 more breaths there in crow. And then please shoot back into chaturanga to pull the chest through into up dog, and the exhale finds downward facing. Now, 1 more breath in dog. You're doing good. Back to that squat. Lots of squatting going on. Heels up, knees bend, walk, step, or jump. Chest up. Now, 1 more little crack, and that little chicken wing thing. You can take the back of the hands to the back of the ribs. 1 elbow hooks in, maybe the other. Funny little shape. Really, I'm quite serious. Don't push it hard here. Shoulders do funny things in this position. So be gentle, be sensitive. This one doesn't necessarily mean that the more you give it some, the better it'll be. Probably doesn't apply to anywhere in the body, really, does it? 2 or 3 more big breaths. Soothing, slowing breaths. All right, let's keep moving. Hands to the ground. Right leg steps back into lizard lunge. So keep the orientation of your left foot out to the side. Now, left hand raises up. Twisted lizard. Now, I can't stress it enough. Don't let your lower back move. Keep the back thigh strong. Left hand threads underneath the right one. Inhale, open back out. Exhale, threading under. Inhale, open. Exhale, under. Last one. Inhale, open the hand. Now, left hand on the floor. 3-leg dog. Left leg lifts up and out. Now, bend the knee. Peel the hip open. All right. A couple of times here. Left knee, left elbow to pause. Kick the leg to the side. Inhale, lift it back up. Bend the knee. Peel the hip. One more time. You can do it. Left knee, elbow. Kick. Oof. Inhale, lift it back up and step through. Crescent lunge. Chest and arms raise up. All right. Eagle wrap. Left arm underneath the right one now. So belly sucks in. We're just trying to move the upper back here, not the lower back. So inhale. Elbows lift up. And exhale. Curl them in towards your belly. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, curling in. Inhale up and exhale in. This time as you lift, unwrap the arms, straighten through the legs. And as you bend back into the front knee, hands to prayer, turn left, hook and twist. Right elbow around the front knee. Might have to extend the back knee, the back foot rather, a little further back so you can straighten the knee. And we take maybe 3 more breaths here. Work the twist, left hand pressing down, back leg straight. 2 more breaths now. Hands to the ground. Half step in so you can fold into pyramid. Now, we'll take pyramid through a little evolution here. So front foot lifts, or the front ball of the foot. My voice just broke. I'll be going back in age. All right, walking the hands down the mat. And really pointing the hands back so you can round a little. Maybe 2 more kind of chilled out breaths here. Really smooth out the exhalation. And now lift the back heel up as high as you can. Folding. 2 more big breaths there. All right. Walk the hands forward. Drop the back knee down. Low lunge. Chest and arms raise up. A little bit of work to do. Interlace the hands behind the lower back. Tuck the back toes. Lift the chest. Straighten through the front leg. Fold. So I reckon the trick to get into how quickly you push off the back foot. So notice here, before you get into it, you can lunge into the front knee, you can pick up the back knee, and then push off the toes. So as you're ready, let's do it. Bend the front knee, lift the back knee, chest comes forward, push off, nice and controlled, elevate, fist comes up, kick strong, belly in, 2 more breaths. Hands to the ground, fold, standing splits, back leg lifts, chest comes down. Maybe you're going to take a little handstand. Maybe there's a variation on standing splits. All good. Go for your life. 2 more. Nice long breaths, keeping the top leg strong, stiff. And step back, warrior 2. Open the arms, T-shape with the arms. Straighten through the front leg, flip the front palm, reach up and back. And now as you reach forward, Trikonasana. Triko. Left hand down, right hand up. Wrap the right arm behind the lower back, half bind. Little tilt back on the top shoulder. Couple more steady breaths here now. Again, back leg nice and strong. So butt squeezes, thigh on, belly in. Keep the half bind. Inhale, stand. Left hand flips for the ceiling, up and back. Bend the elbow. Take the hand behind your head. Interlock fingers if you can. Lift the chest a little higher here. Now squeeze the butt nice and tight. 1 more breath as you are. And then back out into warrior 2 for side angle. Hand inside the foot. Right arm up. Half bind once again. Maybe it's the full. Left arm wrapping up and under. Steady breath. Again, back leg strong. Chest turns up. Maybe 3 more steady breaths. Keep them smooth. Keep them as an anchoring of your attention. All right, one more big breath. Inhale, stand, flip the front palm, straighten through the front leg, up and back. Now, back through warrior two. Place the left hand outside your left foot. Right hand up now, actually right hand into the hip. You might have to shorten up your stance a little bit, like a little heel toe in, but back foot's got to press hard. Now, if you can, fallen triangle straight away. So left leg, kick straight out to the side, chest turns and lifts, otherwise shimmy it out. We meet there, hips lift, chest opens. 2 more big breaths. We've been here before. Left knee pins left elbow, hug it in, pin it in. 1 more breath there. Wild thing, right hand down, turn the left leg over the right. Hips lift, chest turns. Big breath here. And 1 big step. Left foot up to the top of the mat. We're going to take a little pause here, a little different to the other side. So we're going to actually come through that again. I kind of sprung it on you the other side. So as we're coming out of wild thing, we're going to try and bring the left knee up to tap the elbow. And as you do this, keep it high. As you bend the elbows, stack the knee. Now maybe you pause there. Maybe you kick, push off the back foot, and lift. Let's give it a go. Left leg up, 3-leg dog once again. Stepping into wild thing. Down outside the mat. Hips turn and lift. Now, here we go. Left hand down. Left knee pulls into the elbow. Koundiyasana. Bend at the elbow. Slow rip. Push off the back foot if you can. 1 more breath wherever you're at. Left leg shoots up and step it back between the hands. Crescent lunge. Holy mackerel. Chest and arms raise up. Hands to prayer, right knee to the chest, standing up. Pointing the knee down for Chapasana. So keep a little tension through the belly, pull it in, butt squeezes. Now, if you can, 1 smooth action, but standing leg behaves as a shock absorber. Keep a little cushion there and start to hinge forward, but tilt the hip open. Now, squeeze your butt whenever you can. Take your time, though. Go gentle. Small, incremental changes. Breath is smooth. Align the breath into the posture here. 2 more to go. How slow can you get into Koundiyasana? Kick the leg back. Drop your butt towards your back heel and sit it down. Nice and slow. Chest up. 1 more breath there. Now as you walk your hands back to the top of the mat, come inside the left foot and step up into a squat. Right foot outside the right hand, sit the butt down, chest up. Now just 1 more breath. And in this round, you might want to just stay in this squat. This might be just enough for now. Chest up, shoulders back, or if you want another round, crow. Let's go. Hands on the ground. Hips lift right up now. And as the chest comes down, the bend in the elbows supports the knees. Squeeze them in, shift a little body weight forward. Maybe the feet come up. We take 1 more big breath. And please come through your flow. Step or jump back, chaturanga. Finds up dog and up dog. Finds down dog. Drop down into child's pose, a kneeling position, or any kind of resting position for a moment. We'll just catch our breath for a sec. Let the heart rate slow for a moment. In fact, as you slow your heart rate, I'll do some talking. You might want to look to the screen, and we're going to have a little play in an arm balance in just a moment called Mayurasana. And it's an interesting one. Kind of funny too. So elbows are going to drive deeply into your lower abdomen. Kind of uncomfortable, but there's some tricks with it. We'll try and soften the belly a little bit. Now, all the shoulder strength should be the main support here. And the power of this posture is going to come from this ability to round and arch through your upper back. So we really want to emphasize that kind of turtle back, that big rounding angry cat shape. So the first trick is the placement of the elbows. Just like, balancing a seesaw, the elbows and the positioning of that is going to balance our entire body. So it's fairly critical. If you adjust the pivot point of a seesaw, it doesn't work at some point. So we want the elbows to come as far down towards your pelvis as you can. Kind of like in the middle of your body, as close to that middle line as you can. Elbows squeeze in. You might have to lift up the butt in order to achieve that. So notice here, I really round in towards myself. I feel like kind of like a snail in a sense. And then hands come onto the ground between the knees. Now, fingers face back. So here, the hands will point down, palms out, and then they slide back between the knees. Now, we run around and arch up right from the get-go. So as you lift the butt, drive the elbows back down towards the thighs, but round as much as you can through the upper back. We'll place the forehead on the ground, and then from there, we'll go a little bit further. So if you want to join me now, we lift the butt up in a kneeling position, elbows drive in, hands on the ground, round the bejesus out of the upper back, forehead comes onto the ground, keep the shoulders, the front of the shoulders pointing down, right? You want to squeeze the front of the shoulders together. Now step the feet back with the forehead on the ground. Now, you got to take the weight back a little bit, so scooch back, your wrist cup it a little bit, that's all right, and then lift the head up off the ground. Play with that position, rounding, trying to round the upper back, and then have a rest at some point there. Woo! So it's big on the wrists, right? We're going to try and take it maybe a little bit further into the full arm balance in just a moment. It's big on the wrists. No doubt, it's like the wrists aren't really designed for this sort of movement, right? It's the shoulder position that's going to do all of the work. Core too, no doubt. But here, majority, we focus on this rounding. So one more time, and maybe we're going to go for the full arm balance and lift the feet up off the ground. So my trick with getting the feet off the ground is one, take them wider, about as wide as the mat, maybe out beyond the mat. And two, you pull a little bit of weight back, and then you push forward off your toes and sort of into the arm balance. So I might not give you a full sort of demo today. My neck is not like 100%. So maybe as the chest lifts, we pull back a little and then push forward to lift the feet up off the ground. So maybe giving it another crack. No doubt it's a challenging posture. There's that trick. It's all about the rounding of the upper back. We'll take maybe 2 more big breaths wherever you're at. I would love to be able to see your faces right now. And let's go ahead. Come on down for a little rest. Take a breath or two, and then let's lay flat on your front. Flat on your front. Lay on side. We're going to come into a little shoulder roll. So if you're unfamiliar with this, you might have to have a look to the screen. But when you're lying flat on the ground, if you can imagine I'm laying flat on the ground, you reach your right arm or your right hand straight out to the side, so it's in line with your shoulder. Your left hand comes underneath your left shoulder. And then you literally roll up and open and onto the right side. So if you need a visual, arm out, rolling open. So we get that big, nice opening through the chest and through the arm, all the way through the shoulder. You might rest the head down here. If you had a pillow, that might be comfortable. Notice here that the left knee is bent, pointing up. Let the hip drop out. Half bind might be welcome here. We could also take somewhat like what we took before into Chapasana. Take your left hand to the top of the foot, sort of draw that back. Maybe you're going a different way about it. You grab onto the big toe, kick the leg up towards the ceiling. Either way, really slow down your breath. There's a nice heavy sort of feeling going through the hips here. We'll take maybe just a handful of breaths more. Now I'm just going to throw out a variation there to sort of open up the neck a little bit more. But be really gentle with this one, all right? You're going to play with it and just sort of feel it out for yourself. So if you want to, left hand, it kind of picks up your head. Like pick up your head with your hand. You reach over the top of it. And then you're going to lift your ear up away from the ground. And you can sort of find a position to stretch out your neck here as you lift your head up. Don't strain it back too much. You feel it jams up. Sort of keep the head slightly tilted forward. And take maybe just 2 more breaths here. Don't want to spend too long with it. Pretty open and tense little shape. And release. Head down, hand down, hips down, roll out. Never get to hold that one. Left arm out to the side, straight into the other side, rolling open. Left side. Again, nice slow breaths. Looking to really create a feeling of surrender through the hip. The right hip especially sort of falling out to the side here. If you want to take any of those variations, you could grab the top of the right foot, right hand, maybe the big toe. Maybe 3 or 4 more breaths now. And in the next breath or two, gently and easily roll out, laying down again, flat. Really going to hit the shoulders here, a couple of positions in a row. So as you're laying on your belly, we're coming towards straight jacket, or in fact half straight jacket. So lift the chest up into seal, so hands on the ground, chest lifts up. Thread your right arm underneath your left armpit, and then drop down to the back of that shoulder. Now, you might just walk your left hand out in front of you and just sort of let the chest come all the way down, or you could thread the left arm across kind of and under the chin and just sort of let the chest sink down into that. Won't be here for too long, but make good use and really try and relax and soften through the entire upper body. Want that body weight sinking heavy onto the arms. Maybe just 3 or 4 more breaths now. No tension through the belly. We'll take this into a little twist here. So if you're in the straight jacket shape, left arm out in front of you again. Now put a bend into your left knee, like half frog. You pull your left knee up to the side of the mat. And then turn your left arm open to the ceiling. You should pretty much be in a twist there as the chest turns open. You might even bring the left knee up a little bit higher. Now for some of us, the left arm just might sort of be hanging in space. And that can be okay. You can work with that if you want to. But if it's none too comfortable and you want to ground down the shoulder, you just slide that bottom hip a little bit further underneath you, and you'll feel the left shoulder come down. Maybe just 3 more breaths here now. And let's close this completely down. So left shoulder closes, laying down flat on your belly. Once again, releasing the arms, totally flat. Just 1 or 2 breaths there, flat on the belly, then the spine relax. And back up under the palms, into seal, onto the other side. So left arm threads underneath the right one. And then maybe right hand reaches out in front of you, or you thread it across the chin. Work with your breath here. Let it become an influential element to releasing, softening. See if you can scan the body for any tension that's unnecessarily held. Like, it could be strange places, like the thighs might be holding tension, the toes curling or something. Full surrender of the body here. Give body weight into it. Maybe just 2 or 3 more rounds of breath here now. Alrighty. Right arm out in front of you. Pull the right knee up and then turn the right arm open to the ceiling. So revealing the chest to the ceiling and playing with hip position if you like to. Nice long, slow exhalations again. And here, especially trying to ground down your right shoulder, or not necessarily press it down, but let it soften. And try not to hold any tension there. Slow, slow breaths. Maybe just 2 or 3 more now. All right, this time we're just going to lay on our back. So pretty much just flip over. Right leg extends. And there you are. You might sort of just drop the knees from side to side, left to right a couple of times. Coming through 2 rounds of bridge here. We might throw in wheel at some point as well. So 2 feet on the ground at hip width apart. Tilt the tailbone up off the ground and lift the hips up towards the ceiling. Now, we could interlace the hands behind the lower back here. We could just test out wheel maybe. Hands next to the ears. Now, you're not meant to take weight on the crown of your head, but you could just use it as a bit of a pit stop. Sort of lifting up the chest off the ground or the back body off the ground. Maybe resting on the head for just a moment, taking weight to the hands, not to fully do it. Maybe you're pressing up from there, or maybe you're checking it out and you're coming back down. You take 1 more breath wherever you're at and bridge, nice long hold. And release. Drop the knees from side to side, from left to right. And 1 more round now. Here we go. Feet on the ground. Tilt the tailbone up to lift the hips up. Squeeze the butt, tilt the tailbone forward. Maybe it's going to be wheel or hold. Breathe, stay. Back of the heart starts to lift up for all of us. Maybe 2 or 3 more big breaths now. And release. Hips come down nice and slow. Once again, drop the knees from side to side, from left to right. And once you're there, let's go ahead and rock up into a seated position. Having the position, we come straight into Koundiyasana. So bring the soles of the feet to touch, interlock the fingers on the ends of the feet. Lift the chest. So you're really trying to use the grip of the feet to lift the chest up and squeeze the shoulders back. It's like you're trying to poke your belly forward over your ankles and then fold from there. Any amount, maybe elbows create a little bit of pressure to inner leg. But be attentive, be sensitive. Let the body release here consciously. So you're playing an active mental part in consciously dissolving tension through the body. Don't just wait for it to happen. Play a role in it. Condition the mind into a pattern of nourishing the body. Two or three more big breaths now. All right, chest lifts up. Take this straight out into a wide-legged forward fold. So kick the heels out, toes lift up. You might have to scooch the butt forward a little bit more. Pull the toes up, chest lifts up, just like we did before. Try and poke your belly forward first. So you should kind of feel your butt stick out as you push your belly forward. And then from there, walk the hands out any amount. Maybe from there, you're softening the head or the neck a little. Maybe walking the hands all the way out and you're laying down. But again, keep the toes lifted. Nice, steady, long, gentle breaths. Let it flow, let it move. 3 more. Generous breaths. Toes still lifted, maybe. Inhale, chest lifts up. Keep the legs wide. In fact, you might have to close them just a few inches, but left hand inside the left leg, right hand up. Now, see if you can sink your right butt cheek into the ground for this side bend here, reaching over for the left foot. But if you're quite deep into this, maybe the left hand reaches across the body for the outer right thigh. And you take a hold, keeping the chest rolling up towards the ceiling. So you're really using that left hand on the thigh to create the roll of the chest up towards the ceiling. Now, wherever you're at in this positioning, we take maybe 2 more long breaths. Inhale, lifting up, switch right hand down, left hand up and over into the side bend. Maybe right hand's coming across and the shoulder, in fact, comes inside the thigh. Keep turning the chest up. Nice big breaths here. Left butt cheek still on the ground, the sitting bone grounding. Big rib cage expanding breaths right down there towards the hip. Expand the breath into that area. Maybe 1 more big breath now. Alrighty, lifting up nice and slow. So coming towards a half hero. So if you're sideways on your mat, close the legs. Now, left knee is going to bend first. Left knee first. Take the heel back next to the hip. Now, for some of us, we might have to sit on the block or a cushion or a book or something like that, especially if the knee is feeling it now or the ankle is. If you're okay, little tuck of the tailbone and make your way down. Maybe it's the elbows or flat on the back. Once you're flat on your back, there's a few options. Now, only if you're terribly comfortable. I mean, if you're feeling it here and like it's strong, no need to go any further, really. But if there's little to no sensation, bend your right knee. Maybe the knee draws in towards the chest, so it gets a little stronger there. Or maybe finding wheel, so hands next to the ears, and you press off the top of the left foot to press the chest up and back. Now you keep that foot tucked. Wherever we're at, we're going to take about 3 or 4 more gentle, deep breaths here. Alrighty. See if you can do your best to keep the half hero position. So keep the bend in the left knee. Come up to a seat once again. Still that left leg is bent. Now, try and maintain it. As we find this, I'll change my angle. Take your right foot inside your left thigh. Take the left knee maybe just a little bit further out, preparing for our twist here. So lower back lifts up. Turn to your right. Left hand to the thigh. Right hand behind the lower back. So if half lotus was available to you, right foot comes up into the hip crease and we find the bind there. So right arm wraps around. You use the left hand to find that leverage into the twist to grab a hold of the big toe. Now, we'll keep on breathing here for maybe 2 or 3 more. Lower back still nice and lifted, long lower back. 1 more breath now. Here we go. And back through to center. Now, keep the right hand behind the lower back. Release the half lotus if you've got it. Stargazer variation. So lift the hips. Squeeze the butt. Nice and strong. Lift the upper chest. 1 more breath. And release. Hips come down. Release the legs. So roll over onto your right hip. Gentle with releasing that left knee. And then switch it up. Right leg. Right knee bends. And make your way down, any amount. Little tuck of the tailbone. Take your attention to your belly button in this shape. Watch it gently rise and fall. And especially for a lot of us where this is a quite intense position to be in, we're trying to reduce the level of intensity that's there. We're trying to actively get involved in self-soothing the body. You're aware that you're not pushing over into that area of strain or injury, so there's awareness there. You're sensitive, you're attentive, but still, it's strong, no doubt. So try and use that elongated breath to self-soothe. Feel free to have a crack at any other little moves there, wheel or bending the knee. Just a couple more to go. All right. We come up nice and slowly. Gently, left sole of the foot comes inside that right thigh. Now, if it's half lotus, take it, turn towards you, and then we'll turn to our left, into the twists, right hand to the thigh. And if you are able to take that bind, that hand on the thigh really helps you catch a hold of that toe. Either way, lower back up, little turn of the left shoulder back. Nice, steady, long breaths. One more generous breath now. All right. Back through center, but left hand stays on the floor behind the hip. Inhale, lift the hip. So out of that half lotus if you've still got it. Lifting the butt. Squeezing the glutes nice and tight for one more big breath. And plonk the hips down nice and slow. So from there, release the right leg. Give it a little shake. Anything to make that knee feel kind of nice before we move on here. And then into reverse tabletop. So hands just behind the hips, feet on the floor. Roll back the shoulders, scoop the hips up. Now we're going to do a little bit of work in this reverse tabletop. Lift the hips, try and get fairly flat. Now first choice is just to kick your right leg straight out in front of you, keeping the hips flat, nice and strong. Second choice is to kick it up towards the ceiling, but keep it powerful through your left leg. So the hip, the butt cheek squeezes. We just take one more big breath there. And switch, right foot down, left leg lifts, hold, hips lift, butt squeezes, chest, the shoulder, breathe. Good, stay with it, one more big breath. Left foot down, sink the butt, hips on the floor, butt cheeks on the floor, sitting bones, legs straight out in front of you, chest and arms raise up, belly sucks in tight as you fold forward here, and Paschimottanasana, really extend through the lower back. So try not to push your back, your lower back sort of into a rounded position. We're trying to flatten your lower back to extend your chest out towards your toes here. Loose jaw, soft breath. Guide yourself into more and more depth here. Just maybe 4 to 5 more breaths here, but really see if you can relax the shoulders quite a lot now. Alrighty, chest lifts up, nice and slow. Coming to a double pigeon. So left shin on the bottom here, left shin on the bottom, right shin comes on top. So we're fairly parallel to the top of the mat. If you did have your block or cushion, now's a good time to use it. Maybe underneath the knee if there's a big gap. If it's a little flatter, start to fold forward and sort of make your way into the shape. And for those of you that are just really flexible, those of you that are out there, all you Gumbies, maybe come towards shoelace. So stack up the knees. I'm not getting down for you. You get the idea. Stack up the knees, shin straight out to the side, all the same. And This is such a nice shape to try and really take it into that deeper level of self-soothing. So you're watching the eyes, tension through the jaw, the chest. No doubt it's a very sort of leathery part of the hip there. A very unique little spot. Take time with it, take breath with it. Maybe 3 more to go. All right, chest lifts up. Now wherever you're at, give this a little crack, all right? First choice is just to take your right hand to the outside blade of the right foot and kick the leg up. You grab a hold of the foot, you kick the leg up. That's heaps, right? That's plenty. Maybe take the sole of the foot with the left hand. You're trying to lift your lower back up. If that's reasonable, maybe you're starting to think about compass. The knee comes to the back of the shoulder, the right shoulder. Left hand goes across the top of the foot to grab the outer blade, and right hand comes down to the floor. So it's sort of one action. As you kick, you take the side bend and roll the shoulder back and sort of squeeze both shoulders back. So the hip, the leg should roll back as well as you squeeze your right shoulder back. Now, for all of us, whichever position it is, lower back lifts, just 2 more big breaths here. And switch. Release that right one. You might want to do something like shake out the legs or drop the knees from side to side for a sec. But head it into the other side of double pigeon. Right shin on the bottom, left shin on the top. Stack them up. Butt scooches back a little bit. Chest up. And then rounding in any amount. Nice long breaths to match. Nice loose jaw again. Maintaining a real internal level of composure, something that no one else could be able to tell if they looked on. It's easy to kind of look like you're still, look like you're calm. Different question for it to be an experience quality. And here we bring it about via the breath. 2 or 3 more nice slow ones. All right. Chest lifts up. Either left leg kicks out in front of you. You lift the lower back. We'll go ahead and place the knee to the back of the shoulder. Right hand takes the top of the foot, left hand down next to the hip, and as you kick, roll the shoulder back and extend. Otherwise, for all of us, lower back lifts up. Especially if you've got this position here and you're grabbing the foot, do your best to squeeze your shoulders back as much as you can. Pull the chest through the arms, lifting the lower back. Maybe 2 or 3 more long breaths here now. In the next breath or so, go ahead and release that leg. Give the legs just a little shake out, and then scooch forward on your mat, and then roll down onto your back. Once you're there, drop the knees from side to side, and from here, kind of just finishing off the practice how you'd like to. And I'll throw a few options out there. You could mix and match with it. Happy baby is super nice. Maybe after a couple of those forward folds there, bridge or wheel might feel really nice. Maybe a nice little twist here, eagle wrap. Right leg over the left one. Drop the legs down to the left. You take a few breaths there. Then you drop them off to the right. Maybe you'd like to invert. Maybe legs shoot up towards the ceiling. Headstand.
Something like that. Take a little bit of time here. I'm going to go with legs up the wall pose. Might like to join me with that. If you did want like an extra long Shavasana, now would be the time. We'll take a few more breaths, sort of just finishing off here. No real rush. And then, if you're twisting, switch. Maybe just 2 or 3 more breaths. Long breaths. And within the next couple of moments, let's go ahead and bring it down into Shavasana. I'm going to guide you through Shavasana and out. Get comfy. Get still. Get flat. Just before we do get into it, we guide you through a little bit of breathing, kind of what we began with. We'll take it a little bit further. Make sure the breath is still rolling deeply and slowly. And then we recalibrate that breathing practice we did at the start. Now, if you are working with 4 seconds in, 8 seconds out, try that 6 in, 12 out now. Otherwise, we'll just take it one click further. 7 in, 14 out. 7 in, 14 out. It's a big ask for a lot of us. So if it's any kind of stress, if it creates any kind of competition within yourself, leave it out. But hopefully it creates a quite a somatic experience of slowing down. Do this just a couple of times. 6 in, 12 out, or 7 in, 14 out. After your next exhale, if you haven't released that practice already, please do it now. Let the body sink deeply and heavily into Shavasana. Pay attention to the state of the body. Experience that relaxation firsthand. Experience ease and head towards some form of peacefulness here. Just take an extra few moments in quietness and stillness. Just take a moment to not do a thing. You're not trying to do Shavasana. You're not trying to wake up. Not trying to relax. Not trying to get motivated. Just aware. Nothing more. Aware of everything that's coming and going from that bandwidth of attention. Start to interact with the world around you by moving the body. Start to wriggle fingers and toes, ankles and wrists. Have a big stretch at some point and fully awaken. And then start to head up to a seated position with the eyes closed. Once you do arrive in that seat, we bring the hands to prayer, heart center. And just a moment of acknowledgement here. Some form of gratitude or appreciation to be given. You could give it to yourself, you could give it outwardly in some manner. But be clear in the wording. And with that, we humbly bow the head and say to each other, Namaste. Namaste, my friends. Pleasure and an honor as always. Thank you for joining me. Boy, it was hard to catch my breath at some points there. I hope you enjoyed. Keep on sending me suggestions and requests for stuff you want to cover and do, because I don't have any of that time that I usually get to talk to you in the foyer about stuff at the studios and stuff like that. So please be in touch, and apologies about any internet connection issues. We've upgraded the internet here, so hopefully it's all crispy and HD quality. Pleasure. See you during the week. Namaste.